Tom QB1 GOAT Brady has bought 50% of CardVault. What's the play here, my boy? What up, Chicken Nuggets? Tyler here with Tarver Cards. This is Sports Cards Are Dope, and so are you. So I want to talk about today Brady. This news just came out recently. Depending on how soon I publish this, editing, am I right, guys? I'll have my team work on it ASAP Rocky. And by that, I mean I edit it at night after my kids go to sleep and my wife's tired of talking to me. So let's talk about this. Tom Brady, he already owns half of the Super Bowl rings. Why not buy half of CardVault? Okay, so this company, CardVault, it's like a store. I don't know. I tried to search a little bit on it. So if you know more, let me know. I've never been there, but it was started in 2020, and TB12 came out and bought 50% of the company. And they're now officially rebranding as CardVault by Tom Brady, because slapping on his name on stuff, it works. All right. We're looking at you, Noble. Actually, I did a collab with Noble once, but it was more like in the education side. Did a giveaway. It was cool. The game's cool. Their clothes are really good. They're really comfortable. They're soft. Good job, TB12. So hopefully he carries that over into this sports card thing. So they're going to have their flagship store at MetLife Stadium, and the word is they're going to be expanding at stadiums all across the country, which makes sense. Honestly, that's a smart move. It's like that's where your customers are. It's just like Ruben said about Fanatic stuff in interviews. He said, hey, we know we have this many people that love sports. Let's try to see if they want to get into this side of it. Like the memorabilia game, like buying jerseys and all that, that's a huge, huge arena. So it just makes sense for those same people to hopefully like sports cards. So I can see where he's trying to brand it into where people are going for sports instead of them having to make a trip, find parking, and walk into a card shop. I'm sure he'll probably have that too. But Brady's saying that it's about curating history. And it's about building community, which honestly, that's great. If that's what they're doing, that's awesome. Again, are they going to try to make money? Yes. Like people that are like mad at Fanatics for trying to make money. Like I'm not a Fanatics fanboy. I don't have any allocation. They don't pay me anything, never pay me a dime. But also I know companies have to make money. So they are going to try to do things to make money. If they can do it in a way that builds community along the way, that is a plus, in my opinion, for the hobby, especially if they're like the main company and they're trying to do it. So if he's trying to build community, dope. I'd love to see what they're bringing to the table to do that, okay? I don't know if you guys, I don't follow football a ton. I just listen to it on podcasts. Like when Bill Simmons gets done talking about NBA and it's a segment on football, or Ryan Russillo, I listen to their podcast. They'll talk about football. I'll listen to it sometimes because I like them. And also it's a good way for me to get information without having to watch 15 hours in a weekend of football that I don't have time to watch. So it's really great for me to stay up. So when I have conversations or buying sports cards, whatever, I know kind of who to look for based on their expertise. But I think that I forgot my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, TB. I haven't been following football a lot, but I do know he's been super active, especially in Fanatics. And I thought maybe he's just friends with Ruben. No, I know they've got to have some contract. It may be public, but he's doing something with Fanatics. And can you think CardVault's going to get allocation? Hard yes, they are. They're going to get as much allocation as they want. So if you want wax, that's probably the place to go. But I would like to know, what are they going to bring to the space? And again, also, how involved is he going to be? But I know that since getting out of football, dude's been active everywhere. He was, he's an announcer. He's in commercials. Still, he's collaborating with Fanatics. He was at. So we got word. A little quick story. A little side note. We saw Tom Brady at a Topps Hobby Rip Night. I've done videos in the past for Ludex, and then also I just made some videos because I like Ludex, and they did well. So Ludex was like, hey, we like him because he had a couple videos, get us some more downloads. And so they hit me up last minute and they were like, hey, in a few days, they're doing a Topps Hobby Rip Night. I think it was Skybox Collect. I think Skybox. Yeah, Skybox. Their card store, and they were going to host it. It's up in somewhere. It's out of a stadium is where they were doing it. I don't think the card shop's in that stadium, but smart move. Anyway, TB12, Tommy Brady, was coming to that event. It's really, I need to do a whole episode on that event. But moral of the story, my son and I went. We paid a lot for tickets, and he got a very quickly and poorly signed baseball with Tom Brady's name on it. Sorry, I tried to find a jersey, couldn't find one last minute. But I'll tell you what is fun last minute, paying for plane tickets. Am I right? So I think another thing that they said is Brady said they're going to start doing digital content. So it goes without saying, probably Brady breaking boxes on YouTube, doing anything to all this stuff you see breakers now doing, but insert, white dude with a beard and replace them with Tom Brady, because that's all the breakers I see pop up on there. So he's going to get in the, I don't think he'd do like live breaks. He'll probably just like open up the first one of the box, come by the rest at CardVault, or, give him a link. That would be smart. If I had a card, like I've been like writing down ideas. If I ever own a card shop, that's one thing I would do. When I get allocation, again, I don't know the rules, but I would take one box, and as soon as I get it, I'd open it. Any singles I could send off, get graded, sell, whatever, maybe do it live. But it wouldn't be a break. It'd just be like, I'm opening the box to make content, and then everything after that is selling the wax. So here are my thoughts, takeaways, and I would love to know yours in the comments, whether it's a play on my thought or takeaway, or it's something I'm not saying. So I think the first thing is, one of the like goats, quote unquote goats in an entire sport, the most popular sport in America, just entered the hobby in a very real way. Like, yes, he was doing some fanatics. He signed stuff. He got his card with the baseball, jersey, the Expos jersey. But now he is actually putting his money where his mouth is. He's not just getting paid to do it. He is a part of, he's invested in this hobby, okay? So you got Michael Jordan. He's got shoes. LeBron, all in on media. Now you got Brady stepping into sports cards. So I think it's great for the hobby anytime a name gets in there, especially if they're invested. The more invested they are, because we go to games sometimes, and I'm always hesitant to get like players to sign my cards, because I've heard interviews where players talk about signing cards. Those dudes have to sign they sign, I don't know if it's tens of thousands, but thousands of cards, and they get so sick of it, because they don't get extra money for if that card they do well and that gets more. They just have to sign it because they got deals with these companies. I think having a player be more have a stake in it, I think that's going to be huge. And also, if you're going to want a Tom Brady autograph card over, in the next 5-10 years that he signed recently, you're probably going to have to go to CardVault, because that's what I would do. If I owned a card shop and I was like a big name like that, all my memorabilia, autograph stuff would come through my shop, okay? All right, number 2 takeaway, are we going to see a Brady bump, if you will? And I'm like, oh, he's 7 months. Are we going to see a Brady bump? Anything his name has been attached to has carried a premium, from what I've seen. Noble, his protein stuff. Are we going to get more eyes on, this side of the card market? I don't know if it's going to make a noticeable difference, but it is another layer on it. Like, it's not going to double because Tom Brady got a shop. Okay, chill out. But it is going to see an increase because it's all layers. It's all layers, okay? It's like trying to build a social media channel. You don't make one video and then now I'm superstar on social media. It is layers. You're constantly producing content so many people quit, because it's a lot of work. That's the card hobby. It's another layer in the card hobby, in my opinion. Next takeaway, are we going to see more athlete-owned businesses taking over in this arena? So I've made a ton of videos on them before, but Arena Club, Jeremy Lee, he's one of the owners. He started LegalZoom, sold it, and he got into sports cards. And what he did was, he didn't just say, oh, I'm going to start Arena Club, where you can like vault your cards, we even grade them, all that stuff. Vault, grade, sell, all that. I'm not just going to do this on my own. He knew he needed to brand that. He's, done really well in business and understands this. So he went and got Derek Jeter. So Derek Jeter's name is attached to it. It adds a piece of legitimacy. Jeter came to the National a couple years ago. We got to interview him briefly. I was very sweaty. Need to do a whole. I think I got so many episodes I need to do. But you got to pace them out. Don't release them all at one time. And so you've got these athletes partnering with these companies, whether they're involved in the daily. They're probably not. Like, once you get to that level, you don't have to be involved. Other people can run the day-to-day of it. You are like the face, the brand, and adding that legitimacy to it. So I think you're going to see more of this. I mean, you're already seeing it with athletes getting into other arenas, like who is it? KD, I think, owns a pickleball team, a franchise, like a team. I think Curry's got into that. Like, these athletes, now that they're being able to be paid more, they're trying to find areas that they want to partner in business. So my hope, Steph Curry, take over a grading company. Holla at your boy. I'm just kidding. What if Steph Curry collab with SGC? That would be just the go. That would be sick. SGC actually did a collab with the Miami Dolphins. So like, they had like a thing at the Dolphin Stadium. So it's pretty cool. So I like Brady stepping in because it kind of opens the door for other athletes to get involved. And as somebody who collects sports cards, I'd love to interact with athletes. I think that's cool. It's fun to be able to be like, yeah, I got a picture with, Derek Jeter, or Kyle Kuzma. How do I say Kyle? I said Kyle Kuzma because at a game last year, my youngest son got a picture with Kyle Kuzma. That's why I said it. Okay, so number 4, stadium card shops. I think, honestly, I said at the beginning, I think it's a great move. I think they should have those shops in every stadium in America. There should be sports card shops. Hey, Memphis Grizzlies, looking at Tarver cards, want to open a shop, holla at your boy. I see tables set up out there sometimes where they're doing cards, but it's not a lot. I think it's an easy transition. You want to open a pack to commemorate a game that you went to. Like, one of my things is when I go to games, I try to buy a jersey or a hat because like every time I look at that hat or that jersey, I'm like, oh yeah, I bought that at the Phillies game or I bought that at the Grizzlies game, whatever I went to. I like to commemorate those things so that my brain has all this stuff, this like Rolodex of things that I always forget, can remember and be reminded of a cool moment. So next one, Fanatics Factor. I think that's going to play into it. He's got a great relationship with them, obviously, because he's in everything that they do. He's at every event. Him and Michael Rubin, I think, are roommates. So he's involved in it. He's going to get more, and it's going to bring more attention. And there's obviously going to be a Fanatics like hand-in-hand collaboration there. Next takeaway, hobby is going to get more and more into the limelight. They're already coming up with, I saw a professionally done commercial the other day. Like, when's the last time you saw a sports car commercial? Like, it's funny, people post on social media when sports cars have been mentioned, and it's like, oh, it was on this one SNL clip, or there was this one guy doing like, Home Shopping Network stuff. Like, there's just not a lot out there. So it going in and we've got social media pockets, and then we're starting to get commercials. Once those start weaving in, you're going to see more and more attention in the hobby. So the more digital content, it's essentially opens the door for more stuff. Sports card reality show, like we already see sports card reality shows with some creators. They film at shows. You're going to see that world expanding. I could very easily see these companies start if I was Tom Brady, one thing I'd start creating social media content, because you want to start showing people. You don't just say, oh, we're going to build community, do this. Start building it. And one of the best ways to build community is to build it online, because in the comment sections, like, you build a vibe based on that. So not just for clicks and views, but for people that are coming back and joining the conversation. It's what I'm trying to do here. Yes, I know if you're listening on the podcast, what's up? Holla at your boy. Thank you. Rate if you want to. Rate the thing. But honestly, I'm also on YouTube, because I love in the YouTube comments, people jumping in and having a conversation, not just with me, but with other people. I think it's really cool. And trying to curate that as a content creator is really fun. So hopefully they build community that way. And easily I could see them just being like, hey, we're going to partner with blank creator, and they pay for them to go to the shows, give them a little bit of money, and then they're filming all of it, and then they're chopping it up and putting it into. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Watch what I can do. What's that from in the comments? I could see them doing that. I'd start creating my own shows, whether they play on TV, which he has the pull to put something on TV, or it's just putting it on their own channel, their own YouTube. These YouTube channels are now TV networks. So I would do that, but what do I know? I'm just a YouTube math teacher. Okay. Next question, a question I have for you is, do you think Brady's all in on sports cards, or is he just trying to cash in? If this was the first thing he's ever done with sports cards, I could see that. But honestly, the fact that he's involved in all these other places, he's making enough money from announcing, $400 million over 10 years. He's not like starved for money here. He's not like, I need the money. I gotta, pay for my bus fare. Like, he's got the money. He doesn't need it. It's just another area he wants to invest in. So I think it'd be great. What if he jumps in even further? He goes in, collabs with a grading company, which that's tough, because a lot of them are getting, like, the main ones are getting like collector zones, the two biggest, SGC and PSA, and then you got Beckett. Hey, buy Beckett. That's Tom Brady. Buy Beckett and fix it. That would be my plea to him. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Final thoughts. Do you think this is a new trend? Do you think more and more athletes? And what athletes would you like to see get into the hobby, and how do you want them to get? Like, what is your preference? Do you like them I like the variation of, I like Derek Jeter getting in with Arena Club, vaulting, grading, all that. I like Tom Brady getting in with in-store stuff. Like, I love that. Anytime you have a notable figure get involved, it adds another layer to it that I think is always interesting. At the very least, it's interesting. Even if you never buy or do business with any of them, it's still pretty interesting to me. And I love watching it grow. So I love sports cards, and I love watching this sports card hobby expand. So give me your thoughts in the comments, or don't. You have two options. But honestly, you've stayed here this long. Subscribe, follow, holla at your boy. Sports cards are dope. So are you. Later.